Yeah, we've got to talk a little bit about this one, boys, before we hop into game one. RecoN versus Pegasus fits a rematch from the round of 16, where when they last met, RecoN won 3-0.
I mean, RecoN's hot right now. I mean, we just saw that. I mean, if you were here earlier today, I know it's been a long day. We're gone 6 hours of this broadcast, but RecoN versus Mista went all the way to game 5. And so if I was Pegasus, I'd be a little scared right now because Mista rarely loses. RecoN, he's got that dad energy and he is on fire. And yeah, I'd be scared if I was Pegasus right now.
Fire under his ass, an extra person to have to pay for in this world, of course. RecoN, congrats on the kid, but gotta give it to him. He's looked on solid form. I think we had Magic earlier in the chat saying the person he doesn't want to go up against Maiden is RecoN. He's the guy to watch out for in this tournament.
Wow. I missed his chat there. That is a very interesting comment right there. By all means, RecoN taking 2 games off of Mista is insane. And having him Mista as a training partner, that's 2 of the, top level players. Of course, they're going to be, the scariest players to play against. Honestly, RecoN's bringing it today, and mentioning that he's got that dad fire in him.
Right.
He's fighting for the fam these days. That sets a big little bonfire under your keister, that's for sure. So maybe that's the secret to victory.
I mean, Pegasus has been looking a little bit better as time has gone on, right? I think the start of the tournament, he looked a little bit out of shape. We questioned whether maybe he was going to make it deep. Did he have the robustness of the pool? Looking at this draft, does it instill confidence in you, Fitz? Because we've got some Freyr in there that hard to execute, has looked formidable. Oranos has always been looking good. The Poseidon, the Ra, like, does this kind of give you the draft that you're looking for to see Pegasus take in the series?
Interesting to see Zeus banned for the first time today. I don't think that's been banned. We've seen the Loki bans before, but yeah, I've been really impressed at seeing how Freyr's been doing and how Cronus has been doing this tournament. Freyr's been looking pretty good. Granted, we've had some weird games for some of those, but like look at this first game. We've got Ghost Lake with Thor and Ra. I'm thinking back to the game earlier in this year today when we had I think it was Magic playing. Was it Magic or Mista who was playing Ra on Ghost Lake? They all start to run together now for me. But we had the gold running out just on this map, and I think it was a similar matchup. I think it was Thor versus Ra.
I believe so. Wait, if there's a Mista series on Ghost Lake, I'm pretty sure it's against Loki, right? So that was...
It was Magic, wasn't it Magic Rapple on Ghost Lake?
Yeah, I think it was Magic Rapple. You're correct, mate. Yeah, so we've seen this before. I mean, interesting matchup. For definitely a potent pick. But you know what? We're only a few seconds away. I think, by the way, that Zeus pick, or ban rather, RecoN probably worried because you have Kalaga and Anatolia, so some flexy there that makes it a little bit scary. But Pegasus respecting RecoN's Loki because, as you said earlier, Maiden, that was a weird Loki execution that we saw in Ghost Lake earlier today.
If it works, it works.
If it works, it works. But I think we are ready to kick off another elimination series. Whoever falls here falls eternal in Genesis Retold. Will it be RecoN? Will it be Pegasus? Let's find out.
Welcome back to Genesis Retold. We've got a brand new series with 2 of the best players in the game fighting for their life here in this tournament. We've got Pegasus playing in the color blue here, Ra, here today, and his opponent is going to be Tag RecoN, who is going to be playing as Thor. A little bit of Norse, a little bit of Egyptians, and we're on Ghost Lake as we start out this best of 5 series.
Yeah, I like what Pegasus is doing. He sends us pretty straightforward, trying to grab those goats. The vodka just took a look at and check that out, man. He's going to find all those puppies. Oh, yeah. Very nice. Here's the interesting thing, Fitz. So RecoN played earlier today, right? And he had such a killer series against Mista, taking 2 games off of Mista. Eventually that game 5 kind of flopped, I guess you could say. That was kind of a funky one, but RecoN's had a really successful day, man. So I guess my point here is that he's had a successful day and he's already been playing. And so I wonder if he's feeling good, he's feeling sharp, he's feeling, confident, etc. He's warmed up already. Pegasus hasn't quite. I'm sure Pegasus has played a couple of warm-up games for the day. But still, I wonder if he's just not quite, it's not quite warmed up to the same level as RecoN. I think it'll be interesting to see. It's a best of 5. It's not the shortest series in the world. It's not the longest series in the world. But still, it'll be kind of interesting to see what type of a start that Peggy is going to be able to pull out, with the beginning of the series.
Well, that would certainly be like a question I'd be interested to ask some of our pro players who've done these days where you've got, back to back best of 5s, whatever it has. Like, how do you feel whether you're the player coming in, for the sake of we got RecoN here, go at like game 6 versus Pegasus coming fresh. At the same time, Pegasus has had time to see RecoN in action, right? He could have watched the broadcast, seen that, okay, here's a few of his plans he's got. You got to have, mix up your strategy a little bit, but there is a limitation of like, a few, stronger strats that people are going to do with certain civs. So, he at the same time, while Pegasus might be just getting started here, has probably more intel on RecoN than RecoN's going to have on him when RecoN's been pretty busy today.
That's a fair point, man. I think that's definitely a fair point. At the same time, I know KP already mentioned this earlier. RecoN smoked Peggy 3-zip earlier in this tournament, so I don't know. There's some interesting mind games, an interesting mental aspect, I guess you could say, kind of complicating things that, someone's warmed up, someone's, getting intel, the previous matchup. There's kind of a mind game, man. And at the top level, sometimes it comes down to not only execution and how you're actually playing in the game, but also those mind games that you're playing strategically in the draft, previous matchups, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, so now let's take a second and for the Egyptian's sake, we've got our first gold. Where's that second gold expansion going to be? Because that's what I always think on this map is, that's where the wing condition is like, okay, south side. Is there anything north? We got, I guess, that out up on that hill. So all of them feel far away. Maybe he could do some wall segments there, could maybe defend that. But those are going to be kind of the areas of the map I'm going to be keeping an eye on in H2 as that gold starts to run low. I feel like Pegasus is likely going to lean into some of the barracks action here, playing really aggressive with Raw, likely. Now, yes, Ta could go into farming, of course, but, the earlier you go into farming, the earlier you're going to burn through that gold and need to go to that expansion. The clock's kind of ticking of like, you need to get a Migdal out there or have a big military force to defend. And so we do see, I think it's a barracks right away, and we do see the Wadjet. So could be very similar to when we saw, who was it, Mista, who was just spamming this raw H2 army, 2 watches right away.
Well, the interesting thing, we haven't necessarily talked about it so far. Remember, Ghost Lake can give you 1 or 2 starting gold mines. This is a 1 gold mine starting, map. So sure, and looking at that gold right there, it's forward for RecoN. So sure, he has a Dwarven gold mine. He has that backup that he can, secure if needs be. But I still think that there's I think there's a lot of potential still for Peggy to go aggressive. I don't think Peggy knows about the gold mine position. I know he's got some forward obelisks, as we can see here, but I don't think he necessarily knows about the forward gold mine position. He doesn't necessarily know how much potential there is there to push in and do some eco down.
Yep, immediately going for a little bit of harassment. And, where Thorson, like, okay, with 3 Wadgets, there's Axemen. Like, what are you going to do? Bring your Herser out to attack this Wadjet? Because those Axemen are going to completely wreck you. Troll try to take a shot at it. I guess half health with that one rock he throws, but that forward gold kind of annoying as he's got his Wadjet spin poison taking out a villager actually with the triple. He's able to pretty quickly do that.
That's sneaky strong. Sorry, man. That's sneaky strong with the range right there of the Wadgets. With that poison, like doing that passive damage continuously, you can easily snipe villagers at range and just have your Axemen sit back on those Wadgets and just protect them, no problemo. It's sneaky strong, man. RecoN needs to be careful.
And we just see the units continuing to run across the lake. He is going to be pushing this. I mean, he really could just sit here and just keep pushing, right? That's the only gold mine. I'm sorry, he's got the Dwarven mine. Don't forget about that, but he's gonna be chewing through this. He could really have a nice spot to camp if he decides he wants to keep taking this fight. We just see him spearman in queue as well.
Yeah, I like it, man. I like this aggression. If you're a fan of RecoN, maybe you don't like it so much, but that watchtower is a nice upgrade to get, but it's not nice enough because he's gonna pick off that mine, and then he can really sit on that gold mine, man. Clock's ticking for RecoN. He's got a strong army with those with all those upgrades that came in early. He's got a nice, a nice villager lead, but still. Gold is you don't have trash units in AOM, so eventually you got to get that gold income going.
Yeah, so if you're sitting here, you know, as RecoN, you've fallen back to your gold under your town center from your dwarven mine, right? You're losing some of your front line. He's just kind of falling back. He's even doing some farms here rather early on. I'm trying to think about like what's he going to try to do to get himself out of this situation. Is he's getting Hall of Thanes right now. Looks like he's making more Herser, but Herser really not going to take on the Axeman. He almost needs. I don't know the ticket. This like seems really hard to deal with. I think aging is maybe your only hope. This is hard.
Goaty is a really wonderful answer to this unit comp, but again, like you said, you got to age up. You got to get the resources. Looking at the resources he has, you know, he's got 100 food. That ain't happening anytime soon.
No,
especially if he's trying to produce Herser. Herser expensive, man.
And they're not going to kill Axemen. You almost need the throwing Axemen, but like, okay, well, how are you going to kill all these spitty snakes? You know, this is looking grim.
Well, then there is maybe one little silver, I don't know if it's a silver lining per se, but you can invest a lot of all your food into aging up heroic, and then after that, if you know Goaty and throwing Axemen, they do cost gold gold and wood, so you can maybe sell resources. You know, I don't know. Man,
oh boy, that gold's about to run out. Oh, you can see the next one.
Yeah.
Oh boy. What a slow siege too. Slow burn.
Hey, if it works, it works. You know if it's a win condition, it's a win condition. You just gotta wait for that dwarven gold mine to run out, and then you're sitting pretty.
Yeah, his villagers are on the run, and now he's going to be on the hunt. He's got that forward base kind of taken out and circling around, seeing if there's something he can pick up as we see more units in queue. He's got upgrades coming in. Looking to make maybe even a farm transition as he gets the cheaper farm upgrades for later. Maybe
well, that's one
for later.
That I think RecoN only had like 3, 4, or 5 goats, something like that. He had so few numbers of goats, which is forcing him to go into that the farm transition early on. And yeah, we just saw there's still a handful of goats left over on the Pegasus side of things. So not a whole lot of herdables on this map, which is a bummer for, in this case, it's for RecoN. But again, like you said, that does also force the transition. Is he going to snipe? Oh my. He ends up getting the I think that's a crystal shard or blue crystal shard, I think, right? The relic he sniped. Anyway.
Nice. Okay, well, not pushing in, taking his time. Now maybe we could throw an obelisk down to keep an eye on his opponent, but he kind of knows where he is. He's got him surrounded. Come out, your hands up. The Egyptian snakes are waiting for you. Oh, Herser. What?
Look at the amount of favor that RecoN has.
63.
He has 60. Yo, he can cast the gold mine again. He just needs to wait for Bragi to come in, and then he can cast that heroic age dwarven mine, and he has a whole extra safe gold mine. How did he get that much favor, man? Just the Hersier attacking random units here and there? Are you kidding me?
I'm not entirely sure, because I didn't really see him fighting a whole lot.
Yeah, right. Ooh, he got the, what's it called? Hammer of Thunder? He got that Thor upgrade, the Hammer of Thunder. So his Hersier just, you know, that much more beneficial, I guess. There it is. Wow.
How much gold is on that?
3K. Wow.
Okay, that's pretty nice. OP. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Watch out. They're pretty speedy, though. They can get away.
Hall of Thanes Herser, man. They're speedy enough. They can outrun the snakes.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a little farm transition going on for Ra. We see that scalloped axe for those axemen. So you do not want to be a Herser running into those axemen right now. It's amazing how much RecoN's survived on no resources.
Well, dude, he's got plenty of resources, right? But he's just, it was the gold at the time that seemed sketchy, but now he's got an extra 3K. He's, no problemo. I like the idea of Pegasus going aggressive and pressuring the gold mine, blah, blah, blah. I like the idea. I guess I just completely underestimated the amount of favor that RecoN could get in order to recast the Dwarven gold mine. I don't know how he got that much favor, but wow, has it saved the day.
Yeah, I was all part of the plan, clearly. Well, we got
Clearly.
some berserks in queue now, and yeah, RecoN looks just like calm and collected here. Not just waiting to get this goodie now, which can start to take off. I don't know like the magic number he needs to one shot the Wadjet, but it's certainly going to help when this big fight comes.
Yeah, we see Electrum bullets coming in, by the way. So the slingers are going to be that much better. We were mentioning that Goaty were the answer early on, but that transition into slingers are definitely going to change the paradigm here.
Getting some good picks. Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Good. This could be a good fight for... There we go. We got the flaming weapons. This is going to be absolutely a great fight. Oh, using the shifting sands. Good moment. Got a few troops left out there. But yeah, just dodging that flaming weapons as he runs across the ice. And probably good use of that. It was looking like he was about to get him.
Absolutely, man. That was kind of a sketchy. We've seen some sketching shifting sands today, where a lot of military units are left behind from the shift.
We got
He doesn't lose.
coming up.
He doesn't really lose too many, honestly, from the ones that were left behind, but still. What do you think about that flaming weapons, man? It seems like he's trying to find some value here, but it's not really doing a whole lot.
But yeah, Axeman now will turn and take this fight. Should do very well. Got the swarm on the back line. Locust. Ooh. Is that going to hit his own farms? Will they eat the farms? I don't know. I'm about to find out. Guess not.
Guess not.
They're friendly bugs. They know. They're trained locusts.
Yeah. Huh. Well, okay. It kind of feels like we're back to square one. Like we have both the heroic age god powers used. We have the classical age god powers used. We've got all the god powers used. Now what? We're back on the starting gold mine again. It's kind of like we're back to square one a little bit. Second town center actually came in for RecoN over there on that right corner. Boom.
Yeah, I can tell RecoN's gonna be taking his sweet time today here. Buckle up, guys.
What's interesting about that is that RecoN is actually, what time is it? I don't know if RecoN is in the UK right now. He's from the United Kingdom. He's from England. I know Peggy. I don't know where these guys live right now, but I feel like they're somewhere around. I think Peggy's somewhere around like GMT +3. I don't know exactly where he is, but the time of day is maybe going to play an interesting factor into the series as it goes on.
Yep, and more Goaty on the way. Should help to take care of all those Wadjet. He's making some laser crocodiles for the back line. Like they're in queued. And okay, we got another armory up. So get some upgrades going on there. We got more slingers in queue. We got upgrades for slingers queued. A little bit of raid out here on the gold. RecoN's like, psh, I'll just spawn more gold. He's got 100 favor.
He does. Wow.
150 favor. Holy cow.
So here's the funny thing. Like Peggy's kind of sitting on the front of his base. Like, oh, the gold mine is he's going for the gold starve, going for the gold pressure. But all RecoN does is just take a fight, get some favor, drop a Dwarven gold mine, take a fight. He just keeps cycling through that. All the while, he's got a second town center coming in. I feel like Peggy's got to shake things up. He's got to do something different in order to find a win condition here.
There comes another gold mine.
Exactly.
Oh my. This can't be legal. How much?
Gotta
What's it cost
maximize
next time?
mythology.
150. 150 for the next one.
That's nothing, right?
This is when we need KP to be playing the role of Zeus and just like smite random things. Do something!
Come on!
There's a scenario like that I used to play. It was like, I don't remember what it was. Sims or something. Someone was played God and then like cast random God powers on you or whatever.
That's exactly what it was, man. Sims.
Okay, let's see how this goes. We got the laser crocodiles lasering down from the backline. Slingers as well. Goaty trying to pick them off, but Slinger is going to be doing a good job at mopping up a lot of this Goaty as well. Looks like the front line Egyptians have fallen, leaving just the Slinger and then the myth units on the backline. Will they be able to hold it? I'm not so certain of this. Certainly going to be a close one. Military count very close right now. And gets this last Goaty, and I think the Egyptians should just barely hold kind of this. But where's the reinforcements? Where's the reinforcements? The alligators are trying.
On both sides, where are the reinforcements, man? Finally, we see some of Peggy's coming across. A nice, thick blue line heading across the ice. Those Petsukos, man, those slingers shredded those Goaty. Man, it was without those Goaty numbers, like the Petsukos could clean up.
Petsabek. Never smile at a laser crocodile because he will take down your town center. There you go. And okay, so Villager's a little confused what to do, but yeah, the town center expansion did not go very well.
No, it did not. I like the idea, though, because behind that TC is a gold mine as well. I know that he's not necessarily super concerned about gold mines, but by all means, eventually it's going to get pretty darn expensive as he has 100 favor in the bank again. By the way, if you didn't see that, Fitz, we got Osiris coming in for Peggy in the blue. So some catapult play, catapult, and myth units, those axes, etc., with Son of Osiris to boot. That's maybe game-ending push territory, man.
Yep, Son of Osiris probably can. We got the laser crocodiles running around, and looking like Pegasus is in a pretty strong spot, but I'm not going to make any assumptions here until we see another big fight maybe unfold. With Age 4 coming up, so they're going to be big. Wow, that thing survived. Oh, did he delete it or lose it?
I think you've deleted it.
Deleted it, hopefully, yeah. Woo.
Okay, Son of Osiris is coming in, but here's the big kind of complication is that where these fights are taking place, it's super, super open on the ice, and so around the ice, I guess. And so open positions, that's bad news. Typically, it's bad news for Son of Osiris, and it's good news on the Norse side of things. You can surround your opponent, right? If you have the numbers to do so. Having said that, Peggy's got he's got a big army here, a lot of units. But typically, you want some type of infrastructure, a siege tower. You want not watchtowers, just towers, amygdals, something like that, to potentially save your Son of Osiris, so that he doesn't unnecessarily lose HP. Because you can't heal him up. So this is maybe an interesting complication of the situation, the Osiris situation for Peggy. He needs to be careful with that guy and not be too cavalier with him.
There's the rock. Son of Osiris on the way. Where is he? There he is. Smiting all these mortals. And now we got some real action. This is one of my favorite god powers of the game. Look at him. So smug, walking across. Oh, there's a Goaty. But maybe snipe him down. Need to be kind of a little bit careful. I don't think he has a myth tag on him, does he? I don't think so.
I don't think so, no.
He's a hero myth god power. He transcends all tags.
Indeed. Okay. Another hill fort taken down. Where's the game-ending push, though?
He needs a catapult, and this will be really scary.
Exactly. Do we have a Siegeworks somewhere, Vodka? If you can check the base, check just random blue dots around the map. Nothing there. Migdals, that's something.
Oh boy, it's gonna be the slow bleed.
Of course it is.
Oh, trying to age up. Pretending to age up, maybe will. Maybe some Ragnarok.
Ooh.
I mean, he is max pop. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna throw up if he just sits there in his base the whole time making villagers and then somehow this Ragnarok wins. My worst nightmare.
That's one way to surround Son of Osiris with 100, or I guess 87.
200.
Yeah, units. One way to do it.
Okay, in fact, crocodile laser beams do melt steel beams. We see the longhouses going down. Okay.
They do, man. They have sneaky crush damage. It's sneaky.
I love this. This is good to see. Remember when they thought Sebek Everybody laughed at Sebek. Sebek was a meme. His little laser gators did nothing. Here we are.
They're about to do nothing again once Rag hits. We got about a minute, 70, 80
He's got to
seconds.
know it's coming, right? At this point, like, what do you do? He needs like a bajillion axemen, I think, right?
Oh, yeah. That's,
Then he
yeah.
has
So,
some.
well, Ragnarok is all about execution, man. And so, okay, going for Town Center, it'll be funny to see how long that stays up. But the big question is, what is the supporting role, the supporting cast of RecoN's army look like? If you just go for pure Rag heroes, you're going to get completely smoked by buildings or just these axemen, these Egyptian axemen. So having all these Goaty and these throwing axemen, these are crucial for RecoN to hold on to until Ragnarok is actually used.
In Axeman, entire rag dies. Yeah, might. It's also Son of Osiris. He's getting this extra town center just for more HP. He's also, I guess, will slowly get some villagers back if that's his goal, to boom back after the Ragnarok. Certainly can, but he spots that pretty quickly. He'll be staying out of the way. By the way, he has 150 favor right now to use as he pleases. Maybe multiple Ragnaroks. I don't know how much it costs to recast, 350 or something.
Yeah,
Here she comes. Okay, Ragnarok is in. Here come the boys. Everybody's a hero now to the dance floor, and let's see what happens. Ragnarok, it's not your time to retreat. Retreat the other way. It's time to attack, my friend. There we go. Big fight coming on up. He knows it's there. Laser Gators are going to try to keep him at bay, but will they be able to? Oh boy, here comes Ragnarok.
not against all those Rag heroes, man. The Gators aren't going to do nothing against that. Look at that pop completely getting smashed, dude. He's even got a fire giant there as well.
The dog doesn't even like it. Unbelievable. We got the heroes continue to push forward. And one laser gator left, but not for long. He's already got... does he have more villagers coming back? Don't they retrain? Oh, he popped. He can't. It's, 300 pop versus 120 pop. Oh, boy. Watch out. Here he comes. Okay, so we've got the heroes right now circling around on the north side. We've got villagers on the run in the middle, a bunch of axemen ready to the party, it looks like, finally. And he's going to be going to the next gold mines and just run away from them. But RecoN, the clock is ticking.
It's true, man. He needs to be super careful. Rag is all about execution. He's close to another flaming weapons. His vodka's showing on the stats up there.
Oh my gosh, a flaming weapons could be huge. I think that's what he's waiting for. I think you're right.
He needs to fight a little bit in order to get the favor for it, though.
Yeah, just a little bit more. You just need 10 more favor, 9 more favor. That's what he's waiting for. Any moment he could use it, if he is. I don't know. We're watching it. He might not be. Okay, crushes that fight. Still. Okay, he's finally got down to his legal pop space. But Pegasus hanging on.
Just barely, though.
Uh-oh, a lot of villagers in there.
There are. Well, the gold situation. There's 0 on gold for Peggy at this point in time. There are no gold mines under his control. He's going to lose that Migdol, lose some bills, probably lose a gold mine there as well. This is precarious, man. This is very, very precarious. Peggy can't take too bad of a fight, even though he has economy to rebuild units. He can't take too bad of a fight. Same with RecoN.
A lot of villagers. I almost wonder if RecoN will just take the other town center and just start slowly booming back or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Might as well. Okay, so the villagers going up against the heroes of Ragnarok. Heroes of Ragnarok, though, taking them out. Unarmed villagers going down. Okay, more axemen in queue and slingers.
This is what I'm talking about, man. You see how, RecoN is not just diving everything into a town center, into the main base of Pegasus. He's playing this really cautiously. Well, I think you could argue he's maybe playing a little bit too cautiously, possibly. Starting a trade route, that's interesting. Yeah, maybe playing a little bit too cautiously because he's allowing Peggy to survive, rebuild his army, rebuild his army, rebuild his army. He's still got those 70, 80, 90 villagers that have been working the majority of this time. Maybe RecoN's been too cautious here.
Yeah, he's certainly booming back. Like you see him like building up that trade. Like he is not like trying to all in with that rag. He's trying to do damage, but also just like start to boom back at the same time. And now he's healing up. I mean, pushing his army far, but is this too conservative play? Would he have been better off just like going for the throat? I mean, it was looking like he had some good momentum, but yeah, often at this level, it's hard to end a game with one Ragnarok that somebody knows is coming. But I don't know, trying to boom back to this is going to be very hard. You know, when you're sitting there with 22 villagers against opponents, who's also in Mythic Age. It's got Son of Osiris out in the field. I'm assuming Son of Osiris. Wait, he might have died. I assume died.
Yeah.
Son of Osiris, yeah, he gone. Yeah. Anyways.
He gone. But there's, you know, he has all that 275 favor banked up, right? He doesn't necessarily need to use that for flaming weapons. I think it would be a good idea, but an alternative idea would maybe to be sell resources, go for fire giants. I think fire giants would be really difficult for Peggy.
No. The second
What?
Ragnarok. It could happen.
Yeah, dude. Oh, that's a good point.
Oh my gosh, I swear. It's gonna happen.
He's banking up those bills for it, man. 3 town centers pumping them out.
Yeah, he's gonna get this. He's gonna get more vills. Oh, there goes a lot of villagers. Oh my.
Amazing.
He's gonna run away. What is going on here? Game 1. We need an admin decision. Who wins this series after this? What is this? Is gonna be a 10-hour series.
There's the flaming weapons.
There it is.
Couple of fire giants as well, man. Dude, I think this army, I know flaming weapons is strong, but I think this army, he's just losing. RecoN's losing way too much, man. Sure, he has 33 villagers, but he's losing so much. I think that Peggy's economy should be better, even though he doesn't have gold income, right? I guess.
I mean, it's like a game restart. We got, what, 60 vills for Raw, 37 for RecoN, plus we got traders, which you're not seeing. Assuming there's some traders out there. I mean, who knows? We're in overtime.
I know. Pretty much, man. We're pretty much.
RecoN's out here playing Mongols. He's got talent markets in both corners. He's ready to go.
AOE4 experience coming into play. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. Markets win games.
Indeed.
Okay, well, Axeman, as we see, absolutely mops up Ragnarok, if we didn't already know that.
Trade caravans as well. Honestly, I think that it was like the second flaming weapons usage was a cheeky idea. I don't think that was the play though. I mean, like I mentioned multiple times, execution, and I think that was one situation where he was doing just fine. Just finding damage where he could whilst building back up his economy. I think his economy is just too far behind, so he can't rebuild an army fast enough. Peggy's looking too good.
Almost wonder what putting that favor into like some more fire giants might have done, because there's not a ton of pre-sal on the field actually.
Yeah, exactly.
This thing can do quite a bit of damage, as you're seeing right now.
Exactly. Especially against Axeman, dude. All those barracks units, are you kidding me? You get a couple of raiding cavalry out to try and snipe pharaoh priests, etc., and then you just rely on those fire giants to burn those Rax units, no problem. I think there's a lot of potential there. He needs to be careful with that one fire giant up there he has left over. That's maybe one pathway back into this game for RecoN. You think it's over though?
Well, the Cavs certainly do well against Axeman too. Axeman and Fire Giant, it's going to be good against this composition right now. There's not really any spearmen in there. Oh, look at this. He's building a little wall for his catapult he's going to put there. I like it.
Cheeky, indeed. Does RecoN not know about that gold mine? Vodka, if you can, real quick, switch to the point of view, the fog of war of RecoN. There's that gold mine against the edge of the... Okay, he does see it. For some reason, he doesn't want to go for it, however. Thanks, man.
Well, Villager wise, 60 vills for Thor. Recon's almost back in this thing economically. Yeah, I don't know how like eco upgrades and military upgrades where he stands. Looking at the score, says Peggy's up by about 4K.
Pretty even. I'm surprised he hasn't taken out that town center just yet, honestly. That's with all that pop, I guess he doesn't really have a whole lot of economy to work with. We're talking about Pegasus, by the way. But finishing off that wall and getting just one simple catapult to slowly take out that TC, definitely worth it, man. He has enough resources that he could do that easy.
Okay, so we got Raiding Cav right now. Going in for the fight. Going to be taking out, I guess, a few spearmen there. And yeah, the purely axeman strategy, it's going to need to mix in some spears now, as we're seeing, because it's just a lot more cav these days. And boy, oh boy, I'm not sure where this is going to go. I mean, there's still gold up for grabs for RecoN. Egyptians need to get some gold market going. I guess he's got some markets going on.
I think the only way back into the game is Fire Giant. That's the really only way. Or maybe some type of a big throw from Peggy. I think he's got enough of a rebuilt infrastructure, some gold income and everything. I think that he's okay. Fire Giant's maybe the way to go, honestly.
Get that Fire Giant out there. I guess they'll go heal him up. But Spearman doing pretty good against that Raiding Cav, as you're seeing right now. But we do have some throwing axemen in the mix, so able to equalize against the Spearman. And the economy is almost leveled out. RecoN's down about 50 pop right now. So that's what's going on at the moment. Looks like he's throwing axemen. Should mop this up.
Well, how long can he hold on? How long? Peggy's got those cheap Rax units, as you can see on the minimap. They're just streaming across the map. If he can just spam, I think he can maybe spam into victory. There's a Rain with 92 vills, man. His eco should be pretty decent. I think he's starting to trade. He maybe has a decent trade route down there as well. We can check it in a bit. Look at those axemen just get shredded. Ooh, mama. And that's it.
Whoa, what a game. Number one. Pegasus holds off the Ragnarok. RecoN sat in that base. He got all his villagers and he tried to win it there about the 20-something mark, but not today. The Laser Gators, Son of Osiris, Axemen, they were too much to handle, and Pegasus takes the victory in game number one.
He definitely earned that one, man. He fought both of them. It was a good fight between the two of them, honestly. But both of them hanging in there. A good fight by Peggy. And he ends up earning that. Either of them would have earned it, that's for sure. Good fight by both players. Here's my take on this, man. If you're not a Thor player, or if you're not a Norse player, I'm sure you'd be pretty ticked off seeing that type of gameplay. Just the fact that Thor can start off with being ahead by villagers and then just sit in his base on gold mines. It's nice if you're a Thor player, but if you're against the Thor player, that would, that kind of grinds your gears.
Yeah, well, very slow, methodical play from RecoN. Obviously had a build order and strategy with that, but wasn't able to pull it off there in game number one. So Pegasus takes a victory, rather drawn out one, but gets the victory there for that. And that's going to be taking us to Anatolia. So we got some hybrid map action. We got water on both sides, and will be interesting as we're going to see Hades and Poseidon here in game number two.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Anatolia. It's not a super popular map, honestly. It's can be kind of difficult to play. A lot of people don't really like it. But Poseidon against Hades, not really a big surprise here. I don't know if either god necessarily has an advantage over the other. Maybe the Hades archers in the middle of the map, you can get some nice choke points, forests, and what are they called, in cliffs and whatnot. So there's a lot of potential, typically, for some Hades archers to be, just crazy strong. I don't know. It could also be really open and favor some hips, some cav on the side of Poseidon. I don't know who has an advantage here, though. It's gonna be an interesting one.
Yeah, this will be the first time we've seen Anatolia here today being used. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys decide to play this. You've got, of course, the water on the side. You got TC's kind of in a forward position, and you've got Poseidon nice on water. You got actually a Greek matchup, right? Hades and Poseidon. It's going to be the battle of the Greeks here coming up. So I saw a lot of chatter building in Twitch chat about Ragnarok. Is Ragnarok OP? Is it underpowered? What do you guys think? I think it seems like it's okay. It used to be like you don't want it to be an absolute win condition. You know, it sucks if it's the far away, but you also don't want to be terrible when you're giving up your whole eco. Like it was medium like okayness. Like I don't know. It feels like it's okay right now.
We haven't seen it a whole ton. We have, I mean, we saw Rag last week and we saw Rag just now. Aside from that, it's been a long time since I've seen a Ragnarok, so proof's kind of in the pudding. People aren't super confident with it.
Yeah. Well, like anything, right? Giving up your entire economy for military that's supposed to win the game in like one button, like is a gamble. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where the balance of Ragnarok always ends up moving. But with that, it sounds like we've got game number 2 coming up here for this best of 5 RecoN down in this series. And Pegasus got 1 point on the board. Welcome to back to Genesis Retold. We've got game number 2 here on the northeast side. Pegasus is going to be playing Poseidon out here on Anatolia, and his opponent is going to be RecoN playing Hades. It is a Greek matchup, and we'll likely see a push for the water here very early on.
We're seeing a big push for the water, man. Yeah, click up there. That is a very, very aggressive dock there by RecoN. He went very much so more than just halfway up that water line. He's a hey man, we've seen RecoN play a little greedy on previous maps. He is not shying away from that style. Going very aggressive with that dock. Hey man, I like it. Just complete mass that side of fish, take it over early on. Why not, man? Why not?
We got Pegasus right now with a what are those things called? They're not Pegasus.
Hippocampus.
Hippocampus, yes. Out there on the water, going for a little free scout. Nice little thing for Poseidon.
It is nice. He easily knows whether or not RecoN is building on his side of water or not. I think it's a super nice little advantage. Find your dock early on, or find the lack of a dock early on. It's nice. I think it's nice. What I was Fitz, what I was talking about, the middle of the map, just if we can kind of scroll or just look at the mini map across the center of the map. I think there's some nice choke point potential here, man. Of course, there's some open areas for sure as well, but there's some nice choke points here for some Hades talks to be fairly brutal. I don't know if we're actually going to get to that point. I'm not sure how heavy these guys are going to go onto water, but it's something that RecoN's going to have to be really careful. Wow, really careful about. The docks are kissing there up on that top side. Peggy doesn't want to give it for free. Wow.
Yeah, building right by each other. And of course, docks shoot at other boats, right? When you're garrison inside them. Got a little boar luring going on at the town center. You're able to get that in. Go for 2 of them at once, actually. And yeah, getting ready for just continue this water boom, and then it's going to be some scrappy battle on the water, I think, when we get to the second age.
I agree. There's not a whole lot, in my opinion, to really discuss. We can maybe we can maybe look at a Vil going down. That's something to shake things up, honestly. Anyway, I think it should be fine, honestly, unless we have some nice micro here from RecoN. Can he pick that thing off? It's gonna try and body block that guy. RecoN.
He's getting more Vils coming.
Yeah.
Can he save him?
Pulling 2 Vils to save the one? What is happening? What is happening?
That's teamwork. Was that an accident? Look at him go.
I think he sent it out there on purpose to make sure that he gets that dock up. Jeez. Is that a raid? Do we call that a raid?
That was interesting. Idle time.
Yeah. Archaic raiding, man. Archaic Greek raiding. Vilna rock, something like that. Gold positioning. The gold positioning. Gold. This map is iconic. Gold's in the middle of the map. Town center's middle of the map. It's not a ton to really discuss so far, but could maybe, if one player gets some initiative, you're definitely rewarded by having that map control. Could come into play, I guess you could say. eventually. Just have to see how the game plays out, Fitz.
Yeah, we got a second dock down there on the south side, so he's got multiple docks. So it looks like blue largely has the southeast sea, with red largely with the advantage on the northwest. The docks right by each other will get really interesting as we get in the second age. Both players clicking up right now. We got Athena and we have Hermes.
I think water is super tricky to play these days. I think it's part of the reason why we don't see Mediterranean in the map pool anymore. Of the ladder, Midgard is not anymore in the map pool. You know, we see Anatolia, Kerlager is kind of, you know, this weird hybrid map for tournaments. I think, you know, what changed is that in Retold, in Classical Age, you get all 3 of your military ships. And so it's really complicated. Players aren't really used to, there isn't a really tenured established meta for how to play water. I think it's really complicated, and I think it's partially why we don't really see a lot of Anatolia matches, map picks, I guess you could say. It's kind of a complicated, can be kind of a complicated map. And as you can see, it's really complicated. Like, we got docks all over the place, fish just kind of scattered all about. It's weird, man. It's weird. It's gonna be a weird game a little bit.
Yeah, we see the age up is in. Centaur is moving on out. There's a Minotaur as well. And we'll see where they go with it. A Minotaur is obviously going to be a little better at taking out a dock. Centaur more for maybe doing some raiding on the wood line or whatever it might be. Ajax coming along for the right as well as he picks up a relic. What relic does he have there? See, he's got these. Reduces the cost of aging up. That's a nice one. Irish Eagles with the Titan. Really nice.
Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Okay. Now, who's going to invest harder into water? It seems like nobody's building a ship so far. We just have that one trireme up on the top side. What is that building right there, real quick, Vodka? Oh.
What does the dog think that building is? I love the dog aggro. Centaur getting a little raid there on the wood line, taking the villagers back to their town center. Or to another wood line, but they're getting more shots. Achilles, though, coming to defend.
Okay, sorry.
Unbelievable.
What did I miss? What's happening? What did I miss? Some random... what?
I can't believe your dog barked once in 7 hours. That's just unbelievable.
I'm trying to be fast with the mute button, man. Hey, it happened. Scared the crap out of me. It did. Anyway, okay. Yeah, complicated. I'm sure you don't get that with your cat, right?
Oh no, my cat just turns off the computer.
Okay. Well, okay, yeah. So again, whoa, we got Aphrodite coming in over on the RecoN side of things. Okay. Fast age, indeed, and Hippia's coming in. Lots of Hippia's coming in for Peggy. So Peggy's got a good eco by all means. I think he could pause his production and zip up to the heroic age himself. Looks like he wants to go aggressive. He wants to put pressure on. I like it, man. I like it. I like it.
Right now we got Achilles on the run back. We got the Hippies. Maybe we'll get him. He's trying. They're very, very low HP. Might get it. Achilles running. Stay off that heel.
Does it impact the horse?
Oh, yeah, hit the horse's heel? I don't know. Oh, man. Wow. Barely escapes, but does nonetheless. Wow.
That's nice, man. He can maybe survive and regain a bunch of HP with a possible restoration. Maybe not going to be used right now, but... Okay, there we go. Restoration. How much health is Achilles going to get back? Most of it. Lots of it. There you go. Half of it.
We got up on the north side. The army still chasing around. The Hippies trying to get out of there, but... oh, turn into pigs! Aphrodite gets it. We also got the Namian lion.
Nice. Yeah, this is good, man. Skilla should clean everything up. That's really nice. We also already see that fish upgrade coming in for on the RecoN side of things. So that fish eco should be just skyrocket his eco. Since Peggy isn't heroic just yet himself, that should be really nice for his economy. Get nice economic advantage. There we see. That's got to be Dionysus coming. No. Dionysus. There we go. Wait. He went through Aphrodite. Oh yeah, of course. Everybody gets a free Hydra. That's right.
Yeah, we got both players right now fighting it out on the water, but it looks like at the moment being age 3 with some dragon guys is pretty nice. We got Skilla running around, taking out all the docks. So that's going to be complete dominance for RecoN on the water, it looks like.
Okay, very nice. I'm liking the hoplites and the lion to counter all those hippies. Sure, there's heroic age coming in, which is going to be good for Peggy, but at the same time, what is going to make just more cavalry against all those hops and mines and whatnot. I'm liking this what RecoN's got going here. Basically has the whole top side of water also controlled. I think he's looking good here, man. Sure, he already used his curse, so he has to find a way to try and eventually... Big raid coming in down on that bottom side. Nice. Very nice. He's going to have to find a way to try and fight against bronze eventually, honestly.
Yeah, we got the hippies. Yeah, nice split screen there. Loving that. See the hippies running through. And age 3 is up. We do see a Hydra there chilling out. Is there 2? How many lions are there? Is it just keeping it canceled?
I don't know. Hey, make up your mind, lion. More raiding coming in down in RecoN space. We got, just YOLOing both of the armies. Whoa, look at that hippie is going not wild over there. Forces the ceasefire. Nicely done by RecoN. That's a big win, man. That is a big win.
Mm-hmm. He's got complete control of the water right now. This is looking really good for RecoN. He's got the sea. He's got the myth units out there patrolling around. He's sitting in his opponent's fight at the moment in his base. Pegasus in a little bit of trouble here.
That's actually amazing. He's got that entire top side, upgraded fishing. We're talking RecoN. He's got the entire top side, upgraded fishing ships, plus he's harassing this right-hand side as well. And he's got kind of map-ish control-ish with all those hops. This is wonderful. RecoN is starting off strong here, starting off real strong.
Yep. And we see the stable going down there in the front line. Of course, we got some militia there to raise. That's a nice little bonus for Poseidon. And he's going to be losing some more of those. How is he going to defend against this? We look at the military pop right now, or just total pop, 140 for RecoN versus the 90 of Pegasus. Military pop about double that. So RecoN is barreling forward towards the victory right now. Pegasus needs to do something big soon.
Oh, yeah. These raids are maybe a decent idea, but RecoN's got enough back in there to he's got some hops back there to defend against it. Dude, look at all these stables, man. He's just going for stable. That's wonderful, but what about all the hoplite? RecoN's just making hoplites, no problemo. And I don't know how Peggy can come back into this game with straight cavalry.
No, it's over. He's gonna just, he can just spam whatever he wants at this point in this. He's got Skilla patrolling both seas, just a few hippies out there. I mean, RecoN just really dominating this, doing a really good job on a hybrid map. Looked like maybe this just played right into his hands.
Seems like it, man. I like the potential aggression from Peggy with the stables, dropping a bunch of stables, but he never quite got like a proper spam. He was kind of torn. Do I go for some water pressure, water defense, and ultimately it was RecoN who's putting the pressure on the land. There is a bronze, however. Maybe he can take a fight straight up with, against these hoplites with the bronze. Some potential there, I suppose. Here we go.
Okay, so bronze, see what he's going to do with this. He's going to try to stop this TC expansion. Hoplites, of course, going to be pretty good against this cav. You also got a Minotaur in the fight. Bronze, obviously, they're going to do better than usual here in this engagement. I mean, this will be his best chance at equalizing this right now. Let's see what he can do. Townsend goes up, but he's going to be repairing it as it burns. Another 20 seconds left on this bronze. His reinforcements, maybe he could use a few more barracks. He only got 3 right now. We do see, okay, villagers slaughtered on the north side while this was going on. So he's probably doing just fine.
Oh, that was so clutch. I didn't even see that. Attaboy vodka catching all those hops, killing those vills. This is catastrophic for Peggy. Sure, that was a good bronze. He picks off that town center as well. Yeehaw. But at the same time, remember, Peggy does not have fish. He's only got those 28, 28, 27, 28 villager numbers. That's all on his economy. RecoN's got 35 vills, 34 now. Sure, he's losing some vills, but he's got both sides full water of economy left over as well. This is so much, but if they're both losing vills, dude, it's so much as a bigger advantage, I guess you could say, for RecoN. Boom.
And there you go. RecoN takes the victory, gets some points on the board. Just really looked like he came to this game prepared, had a game plan, and it just executed it just flawlessly. I mean, he had took control of that water so quickly. Both of them brought it up the gut there. It just looked like it was a different game compared to that back and forth we really had in that previous one.
Well, now having said that, Fitz, I think that RecoN in both games, RecoN clearly had his game plan. It's just in that first game, Peggy was putting the pressure on and really complicated the game plan. Whereas here, it seems like RecoN, his game plan was just, not necessarily smooth sailing, but it was, smooth swimming, I guess, for those skill ups. It was well done by RecoN, well executed. In fact, I'm really interested in that in the eco timeline. Did I miss that? Did you show that, Vodka? I want to see that eco discrepancy between the full fish and the and all that catastrophic, all the dead vills right there.
I mean, quite frankly, so far an absurd series. Game one, game two, polarizing games entirely. We had the late game boom. I'm not gonna lie, actually, Maiden. I was a little bit worried that we were gonna basically spend 5 hours on this series alone. But RecoN has reminded us and reminded himself that sometimes it pays to just play aggressive, aggressive, aggressive. I don't know though. I'm a little bit disappointed. I was hoping for the triple Ragnarok in one game.
Well, you're worried about, a long series. We're only in game 2, Buckaroo. There's plenty more to be had.
Wait, we can still get more rags, right? So we could return to a weird state, but I mean, the pacing
True.
of the maps, in theory, shouldn't get us there, right? It's not like we've got closed maps like Alfheim being drafted. Kalauga up next is also kind of an interesting one to look at, right? We've got the double Atlanteans, and we have seen both of these pull out wins. Wasn't it RecoN earlier today? Was it? It was Uranos, Mister, and Gaia RecoN, and he won that game.
Hmm. True. So we've usually seen the Greek preference. I don't know if it's a preference, a common pick on Karalauger, but seeing the Atlantean picks here, honestly, I have nothing new to say about this. It just, to me, it all comes down to shockwave numbers. It just kind of all comes down to shockwave numbers and how well Pegasus will or will not be able to utilize it.
Obviously, we could see very mirrored opens here, right? Double Oceanus, just playing with the water makes a lot of sense for Kalauga as well. Welcome back, Fitz. It's been a long day. I think we are almost at the 7-hour mark. What's your prediction? How many more hours on this series alone?
On this series alone, I think we're going to be hitting the 8-hour mark in this series. I would assume, but we'll see. RecoN's Gaia, though, we've seen Gaia. I mean, earlier today, Gaia just slaps, particularly on this map. Like this could be a pretty deadly one. Pegasus playing Arnos. This is actually the same exact matchup we've seen on Kurlager before. But just considering how well RecoN did on the previous hybrid map, this could be another landslide. So let's hope Pegasus has got some in the tank for this one.
Let's find out. We've had 2 polarizing games so far. One feeling like it could go on forever. One swiftly ended. Let's see which end of the spectrum we're going to lie as we hop into Kalauga for game number 3.
Welcome to Genesis Retold. It's game number 3 of the bottom bracket. RecoN versus Pegasus. He has got both these guys. They're playing for life to stay alive in this tournament, and let's see if they can do it. The scoreboard currently tied up. RecoN going to be playing. I'm sorry. Let's start with Pegasus. Pegasus going to be playing as Ornos here on the north side here. And his opponent on the south side will be RecoN playing as Gaia. You see that lush. It feels like Groundhog Day. We've seen this matchup before in this tournament. We've seen actually the exact same positions on the map. Gaia does very, very well here. So I'll be anxious to see maybe what Pegasus has in store to try to counter it out.
Hey man, Gaia, yes, the unbeatable Gaia economy. Still, we saw what Mista just about pulled off with Aranos a little bit earlier today. So Still, you can't discount those shockwaves, man. You really can't discount those shockwaves. I still think there's plenty of potential for Aranos to fight back, do his own bit of eco damage, et cetera, et cetera. Especially, in fact, Vodka, if we can, RecoN's gold mine. We saw it earlier, Mista hitting the gold mine of RecoN. Check it out. Sure, there's a tower right next to it, but what we saw the Aranos player doing eventually, which was Mista in that game, going for those Terma, going for the abuse, et cetera, et cetera. Unfortunately, he couldn't get it going because of the tower upgrade, which we of course might see again. But that gold mine's even more harassable than what RecoN had earlier today.
Yeah. Oh, it was RecoN on this map with the tower upgrades, right? Going straight for the second TC expansion. Well, it would be interesting. We talked about this earlier of like, okay, we saw RecoN do that already, right? Pegasus might have watched that game too. And might have said, okay, I got a plan how I'm going to deal with that. So we'll see. Will RecoN change his strategy up here this time, or is he going to try? He's going to try something different, or will he just rinse and repeat? Is it so good it can't be stopped?
I don't. Maybe maybe I'm not the one playing in this in the tournament. But having said that, on the left hand side, far left corner, Vodka, the second town center that RecoN took in the previous game. Check out where the gold mine is. Remember, he got kicked off of the gold mine. Yeah, check out that bad boy on the opposite side of that wood line right there. That thing is sketch city, man. Sure, there's some good resources over on the side, but I think that this map is the resource generation is different enough that sure, perhaps RecoN can go for the same thing. I don't know if the resource generation really helps him go for the same strategy, but maybe he can execute it, maybe he can pull it off potentially. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see for sure. So similar last map, we got both players on the water on both sides, but a little different here. These maps have what we call shallows, meaning that the ground troops can walk over the water and they can also fight. So, a hoplite can run up. Well, there won't be any hoplites in this game, but a Murmelo could run up and take out a fishing boat or something like that, right? So it makes it a little bit different. Not to mention, when you get those Age 3 water myth units, you can have those roaming up and down water, maybe fighting against land units. It gets a little crazy, a little different, but we like it. It brings some fun action here.
Indeed. Once again, we see Prometheus coming in on the Aranos side. I need to check the patch notes again, man. See what happened to Oceanus that makes these Aranos guys want to go Prometheus instead of Oceanus. I don't really know what Prometheus gives you in a matchup like this that is better than an Oceanus pick. I don't really see it, but it's both Peggy and Mista going for it. So I'm probably wrong.
Clearly, you're in the wrong because we haven't seen any Oceanus here today. Or the meta changes and the patches change and the balances. So we'd have to go digging through the patch notes, which can be hard to keep up with. They've been bringing us several updates here since the launch, and in fact, we've had some balance changes. We even had Arena of the Gods most recently launched a week or two ago, and I'm sure everyone's waiting. We all know that there's some kind of DLC on the horizon for the Chinese Pantheon. Wonder when that could be coming. But yeah, it's been nice seeing the life cycle of Age of Mythology. We're here just a few months in, continuing to get some quality of life improvements. There's even I think a Xbox controller only ladder.
Oh, is there really? Oh,
I think you can queue no cross input if it works. At least that's the rumors.
Yeah. That's right. Anyway, having said that, we are getting into the game, and we have double counter barracks, if I am not mistaken, on the blue side of the thing, or of the map. Boom, boom. There we go. Terma incoming, Oceanus incoming. We have, in fact, that wall. Hey, man, you remember what I was saying about that forward gold mine? He ends up walling it up. That's something. But, if Prometheus is going to give you something, it's a Promethean to punch through that wall. That's something, by all means. Do we have the tower upgrade coming in? We do, folks. Very nice.
That's going to be the exact same strat, right? He's got the towers getting upgraded. He's going to go for probably that TC on the left side is what I would expect to come out next. He's rinse repeating from what we saw earlier today.
Very nice. It is forcing, however, it's forcing RecoN a little bit of a reaction here. In the previous game, or last time that we're comparing this to, he could, I think he he delayed his army. He went for town center, but you see, he's dropped 2 military barracks right here. I think this is more so forcing so much more of a reaction from RecoN here. This is nice by Peggy.
Yeah, looking good. And now we do see, it's funny, this is deja vu. This is exactly how we saw first Mista, right? It was all Terma, and this is the exact same matchup, same spawn, other than the towns that are on the top left. Like, he'll go for that right tower.
He even builds a second tower right there, man. RecoN is nervous about this forward gold mine.
Yeah, he's got the mana to jump in if he needs to. Needs to pull that guy away. Is he gonna micro him? Loses a heroized citizen.
I don't know, man. This is looking pretty decent for Peggy. A little bit of a bummer with such a forward gold mine spawn, but he's kind of doing what he needs to. RecoN is to try and defend against it.
Yeah, we got Crenellation's upgrade coming in. That'll help considerably against these Terma, but not scare him away for now. We also have, there we go, some healing from the Caladria. It's going to help with those villagers.
Too bad he didn't have a Caladria a couple seconds ago when he lost that citizen.
Yeah, trying to force the idle time. I'm not sure we're going to see the TC expansion here. It's really not for a bit. Oh, there we go. We got a Carnivora in on the action. Spawned on in. We got some healing as well. And these towers now, 2 towers, Crenellation upgrades, going to be doing more damage. It feels like they just tickled the Terma though. Like they barely take any damage.
Dude, I mean, RecoN's building his towers. I like it. You got to do something. But he just right, he's building it, but he's building his towers further and further back, and so eventually the Terma, Pegasus's Terma, maybe Carbalist at some point in time, they can just sit back in there and range the. I don't know if the towers can range his ranged units, if you see what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll see if he decides to target in these towers, but for right now, maybe looking a little scared. He's going to be hanging back, let him get that gold. And I think this is going to be a RecoN age up coming in, looking at the current resources. On the water, I'm not sure if they've been really fighting at all. Maybe do a little quick check. I don't see any boats. It's just fishing, just merchants.
Indeed. I'm not super, after that third tower going up, I'm not super surprised to see Peggy decided to book it over, to hit the fish, hit something else. Like maybe there's some potential to keep some ranged units over there, but hey, there's damage to be done on the water at the very least. Maybe that's a better decision to head out to water instead. And there's the click up, man. Good call. Thea coming in, quarter of the way there, and Hyperion actually on Pegasus' side as well. Broke for both players.
Pegasus is his side. He's going to be aging up. We got both players going up to the heroic age, and now we'll see a little bit of a troll out on the water for some fishing boats. But there you go. You have some boats to defend. A little action here. We'll see if anyone goes for any talented expansions, but right now looking like both of them hanging out in one. Certainly not at this point, not turning into that exact mirror of what we saw RecoN do earlier. A little bit of an adjustment to the game plan, and we'll see what happens when we get into the third age.
If he tried going for the boom, that would be suicide, man. He had to invest what? I mean, that's 900 resources into saving this gold mine right there, dropping 2 towers, and then also getting the tower upgrade on top of that. Wait, that's not 900. Whatever, hundreds of resources. I can't do math. However, Fitz, if the classical age was different, but if you recall, RecoN did end up going for the straight Contarius numbers, and look, he's doing the exact same thing. We've got all the upgrades coming in. We got those back military buildings to get those upgrades, and he's just going for the straight Contarius spam. So again, you mentioned Peggy saw this happen earlier against Mista. So does he have a different answer for it?
Making more Terma doesn't seem like the answer in Arcus. Like, makes me a little nervous here early on. Like, at least, I guess Mista had, the Catapultes or something. This army could just get rolled over by RecoN.
Yeah. He needs time to produce, however, so there's maybe a little, maybe numbers-wise it could favor Peggy, but as time goes on, those Contarius are going to be super strong.
Well, it's going to take time to break through these towers. These towers going to tickle the troops a little more, do some damage. He's training. He's got a few of these going on. His economy's doing fine. It's just a matter of producing these units fast enough.
Sure. Sure. In fact, yeah, he doesn't even need to worry about the gold mine anymore. Sure, he lost some citizens, but no worries. He's got gold elsewhere now.
Yeah, it's not really. I'm not sure how much citizens are going to matter here in a moment. There's going to be a big clash likely with these Contarius moving out. A decent amount of Prometheus, but he's already upgraded those to heroes, so those not like those will slow him down at all.
What is going through Peggy's mind right now, man? He sees that there's only, what, 3, 4 citizens right there? There's not a lot of citizens on that gold mine. He has to know that RecoN's going elsewhere for gold, right? At the very least, sending 1, 2 units to go scout out the mines around there. Yeah, can he actually see that, Vodka? He sees mana right there, man. There you go. There you go.
Okay, here he comes. Going for that raid, and he's going to get it.
Okay.
Got some Contarius of his own. That'll make things a little interesting. We take out the water. Okay, now starting to hit some of the eco on the outskirts.
Hey, RecoN's building up those numbers. Got those dryads coming out. Contarius numbers popping in. There they are. There they are. Nice. Safe stay for the citizens, that's for sure.
Yep. And boy, I don't know if he wants to take that fight quite yet. Doesn't have the numbers for it. Although here comes some dryads. Here comes bird. Okay, this might be it. I think to take this fight, we got chaos. Not chaos. Chaos for the other side. Yeah. Okay,
There it is.
Gonna use it. And this could be a very big battle. Not looking as good as it did the last time. For those who heroize Contarius, don't underestimate them when it comes to this engagement. And of course, we've got dryads tanking up a lot of damage as they do. But it does look like Pegasus able to hold this engagement.
Indeed, man. That chaos right in the nick of time coming. Well, he already had it queued up, ready to go, but still, chaos was brutal. The Terma and the Arcus are not doing a whole lot of damage against those Contarius, but still at the same time, the Contarius were just fighting against each other during the chaos for some amount of time. Actually, has Peggy pushed too far here, Fitz? There's a bunch of Murmillo coming in from behind. Has he pushed too far here?
Yeah, he's got reinforcements. Those dryads would particularly be very, very annoying. Yeah, I think he might have overextended. He held that first fight, but also he's got the boats taking shots as well.
Yeah. It was a good first fight, but at the same time, the follow-up, he kind of takes maybe you could say the worst engagement with that follow-up. Whew. Peggy's got a central town center. He's got central town center, and that's where he's mining gold as well. So it's possible RecoN can maybe hit him right on that gold mine, hit him fast with this. Let me look at that army. That thing, it's almost dead, honestly. So he's going to need to continue that production. But still, there's maybe small window of opportunity here. Okay, maybe not. He's deciding against it. Never mind. Wow, that's a lot of wood.
Yeah, look at the scoreboard. I mean, Pegasus 15K, RecoN sitting about 22K. A one settlement game for both players so far, which is rare. You typically about a 15-minute mark. Somebody's got taken a second one. But we got
There we
one. Oh, there we go. Right.
Yeah,
on schedule. Maybe I didn't see that thing. But yep, building the palace out there on that gold, and going to be going for some raids out there.
Okay. Who has the advantage here? I feel like RecoN.
Yeah, I would absolutely say so. But that could shift very quickly. This is certainly going way later than our previous did. We see 175 pop right now for RecoN. So I mean, that kind of tells a story versus the 150. And Pegasus is spinning down his resources at the moment. So, but RecoN going to be creeping on town centers. I don't think this is gonna be a rather drawn out. Is the sense I get. He's taking that side TC. He's going to probably take that mid TC. He's just going to slowly move across with his creep. I don't think he's going to try to go for the throat. We'll just continue to see more of these raids like so, and we'll go for the slow bleed here.
It seems like there's potential. The throat is maybe exposed with the. I mean, sure, Peggy's got a decent looking army, but at the same time, like for example, right now his army's out of position. Could RecoN with the fast, with the Cantaria spam, could he not hit that forward gold mine? That's just sitting exposed, and yeah, that bad boy right there. Look at all those exposed citizens, man. Sure, there's a couple units there, but I don't know. With RecoN being kind of in the middle on the right side and the town center up on the left side, it seems like RecoN's really kind of spread out his infrastructure, you could say. And whereas Peggy's kind of centralized, so if Peggy gets hit, he's gonna get hit hard, if that makes sense.
And we got those villagers right there, citizens up for grabs. Nothing really to defend him, so he's got that's a lot of economy idle right now. Off of gold, he's got 200 gold in the bank. Here comes, oh boy, Groot's angry, coming after those barracks. Look at him, look at the siege they do. They're just great units. Yeah, that's gonna be painful. Oh, we're gonna turn around. Maybe he's afraid of what's coming.
Well, not a big commitment here from either player just yet, but when is it going to happen? That's my question. When is it going to happen? There's a lot of gold options. I'm a little bit surprised that Peggy hasn't used Sky Passages. He's Serranos. That is, we saw Mista, for example, in this matchup. Mista really utilized his Sky Passages very well, in my opinion. And we see pretty much the exact opposite here for Peggy. I think it'd be really nice to allow him to be jumping. Exactly. He needs to jump from side to side, man. Use that mobility.
Okay, so we see RecoN with his palaces in the middle of the map. Chaos once again coming in. That's going to be brutal. It's so hard to like have a successful fight anytime that hits. I mean, you take so much damage early on the front half of those fights. Good use of that, save up that favor, and the next cost will be 80 favor to use that again.
Oh yeah. Speaking of recap, I mean, yeah, check that out. I like those towers, honestly. I think RecoN's got a couple of tower upgrades, by the way. I'm loving it, but at the same time, those Cantarius are pretty decent to just take fights and raid underneath it. Is this, man, we've seen Pegasus go too deep once before. Is this too deep once again, man? He might be throwing away his army. Check out the army population numbers. 50 to 101, 48, 46. A potential another overcommitment, and boom. When is RecoN gonna just hit him back?
In due time, he's playing with his food and just slowly creeping. Yeah, that was like another case where it's like a good fight for Pegasus, but then the follow-up cost him a lot of resources there. I don't know the better. I think he's really just trying to get to those villagers, but just really hard to do at the moment. So I don't know if he needs to mix in some small siege options when he starts to win those, but like the real thing is those dryads are just so tanky. When you got a big ranged army like this, like, and not to mention all the cav, like, it's hard to get momentum going.
Oh yeah, indeed, very much agree. Well,
KP says he's dragging it out so that he doesn't have to change the diapers tonight on baby duty. It's a good strategy. Good strategy, indeed. Sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. Till the internet gets unplugged.
Okay, fine. RecoN's going for the slow burn, and he's just inching or, stepping step by step. He's just getting in a better and better and better position. If you see exactly, vodka, exactly. On the right-hand side, RecoN is, cleaning up water, cleaning up any potential, ownership of the Pegasus may have over on that right-hand side of the map. He's solidifying his position in the middle. Left-hand side, he's got a presence, but it feels like RecoN's kind of spreading out. He's spreading around the map, taking control of the map, and he's defending himself really well at the same time. I don't really know where the win condition is necessarily, but he's just, when you're ahead, get further ahead, I suppose, is the theory right now. It's working out pretty well for him.
Well, if you look, Gaia's got more total pop, right? 235 right now. And in addition to that, okay, what do you do when you're full pop? Well, add some towers. Those are some extra damage you can do. They don't cost any pop space, so he's doing that. He's creeped forward. He's got all of his tower upgrades, so that's kind of like the extra men out on the field. He sees this Arcus trying to take off those citizens, but I mean, gold could be interesting in the later stages of this game. As far as, well, I guess he could put a market right in the corner with the way the settlements are set up. So we could have a long one here. Buckle up, guys. I hope you got some popcorn. I need someone to deliver me. I want some popcorn and a Coca-Cola. Oh man, that'd be great.
If you are in the European or, further east time zone, you better be getting yourself like, some caffeine, some espresso, some coffee, something like that. Because I agree with Fitz. This game is not, even though, man, look at the Contreras in that far right corner. He's just so close to,
Mhm.
stopping that TC from going up. But nope. Anyways, this is gonna be a long series, and don't forget, everybody, we have another one. If I'm not mistaken, we have another one to cast afterwards. So not only do these boys that are playing right now have this match to play, this series to play, but they're going up against Grassgrim afterwards as well.
Yeah, we definitely need to get some hype going in the chat. We need some hype for the players, for the casters, for the observers. Let's go. We got 20 minutes of Atlantean action. It is stalled out. RecoN has the wall of towers and palaces and everything, and he's going up to the Mythic Age. On the way, baby.
Both players. We got Hecate coming in on the Peggy side, and we got Atlas coming in for RecoN in the red. So that's going to be Implode and Tartarian Gate on the field soon enough. At least I believe that's Hecate. However you say it, Hecate. Anyway, it is.
I'll let you
indeed.
go for that one. I'm not sure.
We'll go the Anglophone version, Hecate, the anglicized version, I guess you could say. Maybe Implode's not really gonna matter here, man. Although if he picks off this TC right here and implodes this army, boom, there's the Implode.
Hot kids, right, here comes the Implode. It's gonna be sucking everyone in and exploded. Oh, coming on up. Uh-oh. Boom.
Nice, TC stays up, but just barely. Look at those farms burnt to a crisp. There they go. Carnivora for the win, man, to finish her off.
Oh man, they tried to get away, but not. It definitely more aggressively implodes you. It used to be able to just run away from it. It was like embarrassingly bad.
It's aggressive input. Indeed, man. This could be what the power, the spike, the crux, the spike, the whatever that RecoN needs to try and turn this game into a victory. He's looking good. I don't know if a Tartarian Gate, which is going to be about a minute away, I don't know if a Tartarian Gate is going to be deadly enough to come back into this after losing a TC. I think that maybe RecoN can start hitting gold mines and put the nail in the coffin. The game ain't over, but he's in a nice position here, that's for sure. And there we go.
There you have it. RecoN with the very slow, methodical Gaia playing. This is the Gaia you fear when you get up against in a match. It's like they're gonna play their game, their way, take the time, and then just crush you over the finish line. And that's what we saw here. RecoN with Gaia. Definitely a force to be reckoned with. We saw earlier today against Mista, bringing it out here against Pegasus. And that's two hybrid map wins in a row for RecoN, putting up 2-1 in this series.
Very nicely done by RecoN. I think it was a little bit sketched with the slow burn, but it definitely paid off in the end. I think the Peggy didn't quite. He was just missing the follow-ups. He was initial great aggression, but that's kind of the repeat action throughout the game. Just getting a nice advantage and then kind of throwing it away, getting a nice advantage, throwing it away, and all the while that guy Eco's just churning away.
Yep. Well, that's going to be taking us over to game number 4 of RecoN versus Pegasus. And boy, oh boy, it's been a close one. There's been some long games so far. We had a Ragnarok slog for game number 1. Game number 2, we had pretty much RecoN steamrolling on Anatolia. And then this one, a little bit drawn out, but it felt like RecoN was playing into his strategy here. Let's see what happens as we go into the 4th one. I'll be interested to see what civs we got queued up for this one.
I like how we go on a little diatribe on how it's buckle up everybody, this one's gonna be a long one, and 2 minutes later it's over. Thanks a lot, RecoN. Thanks a lot, actually, RecoN. Thank you.
Game number 4 is going to be Marsh. Isis versus Freyr. So we haven't seen a whole lot of Egyptian success today, at least not as much as we have in tournaments past. Freyr has been red hot from what I've been seeing, and getting pulled out here could be pretty good. Pegasus playing Freyr on Marsh. What do you think's going to happen here?
I like how Peggy plays Freyr actually, and Freyr is pretty hot. Who was it? I think it was RecoN who banned Freyr in the series against Mista, which was kind of
Yep.
funny. So you're absolutely right. I've seen Peggy pick Freyr once before. I believe it was on Alfheim. I believe it was against Ra. He like what I've explained, before. He built up a really solid forward stronghold by going up through Uller, getting that hill fort, that early hill fort forward, and kind of hanging on to that forward position. He eventually takes a town center and uses his golden bursty aggressive. And anyway, this is against ISIS, however, and so the if you I don't know if that same idea is going to be as beneficial against ISIS compared to a god like Ra. In that game I'm referencing, it was a very boomy Ra. I think it was against Chemo or someone like that. I'm not 100% sure, but the strategy, the situation is very different against ISIS since ISIS has that big push potential with ancestors and eclipse. I don't know what he's
Yeah.
gonna do, but I would be very interested to see him try and pull it off, honestly, to go forward it. Yeah.
Yeah, and looking at the picks we got, say Pegasus gets the win here, and we go on to game number 5. I mean, left on the table is Odin and Set, which I feel like is what we saw at the end of that last series. But we're done with the Atlanteans. We're done with the Greeks. That'll what's going to be left for us if Pegasus is able to get a score here. So RecoN, he's played a lot of games today. He played a whole series against Mista, went to game number 5. Here we are, game number 4 right now against Pegasus. Let's say, and he's a dad now. Let's see if he can go the distance here. Not getting much sleep these days.
I think that maybe, but at the same time, it seems like RecoN's kind of turned up the heat. So, maybe it's like playing under pressure or something like that, playing on no sleep, popping those Red Bulls, those whatever, those espressos. Maybe that's what's happening because he's looking great today, honestly.
Yeah. Well, here we go. We got about a minute left, guys. Make sure you are set up with some snacks and some beverages as we get in here. It's Saturday night, or maybe Sunday morning where you are. I'm not sure. Age of Mythology action. It's about 5:30 here on the East Coast of the U.S. And boy, it's been a long day of casting. We're coming up on about 7.5 hours, and we're only on game 4 of this. And there is allegedly another series after this, which is crazy. So this might be like world record tournament length.
Now, world record. That's exciting.
World record. We might have to skip 24 hours. We'll just keep going till tomorrow. Let's just keep going.
Yeah, let's just do the whole thing, man. Go straight through the grand final. No problemo, right? I might need a sub. However, I might need a sub, eventually.
I'm waving at Oriental Snipers, Grandma. There you go. Okay, so we're getting into game number 4 here. Gamba is up. If you want to predict, looks like we got a lot of predictions right now. What did I see there? 20,000 on RecoN, only 10K on Pegasus. So we gotta see, where's the Pegasus fans at? Put your points in the board here. Let's go as we get into game number 4. Welcome to Genesis Retold, game number 4 of a RecoN versus Pegasus. Go in the distance. Only one player will remain when coming out of this series as they get ready for the finals day of this tournament. And we're going to have over here on the east side Pegasus playing as Freyr up against Tag RecoN, who is going to be playing as Isis.
I'm excited for this, man. I want to see a big inferno. We saw one earlier today on Watering Hole. Magic blessed us with a nuke. Let's see if Peggy can get a little nuke action going himself. One thing, speaking of, so Fitz, I was talking about, Peggy's preference to potentially get a forward position, a forward stronghold. I think this is maybe a decent map to do it on. Because right at the top of this screen that we're looking at, you see this forward town center. There's a decent potential. It's a forward TC, but it's not like right in the middle of the map, kind of off the beaten path. And so I think that gives RecoN a target as the ISIS player to go and attack there. But I think that there's a lot of wood lines. There's a lot of kind of terrain in between. I think it's maybe viable on this map to go for that kind of greedy, aggressive, or whatever you want to call it, strategy with that early hill fort, town center play, etc. I think there's potential. It'd be cool for him to actually pull it off here.
Yep, we see the flood of the Nile coming in really soon here for RecoN. So you get this really early on in this game here. As he gets ready to go up to the next age, he needs to get that temple down, of course. So that's why you see so many villagers on gold. We got obelisks on the map to get some line of sight. And we've got some of those hunts towards the front of the base. You got that gold mine kind of right there in that forward position. So gotta take some map control, take some settlements, move forward if you want to capture some of the resources here. And of course, there's also side settlements if you want to go for those as well.
Why is he scouting so aggressively? That's like really aggressive scouting, man. Is it like I'm thinking, does he
Forward
want
base
to
coming
know?
up. Forward base. Here we go.
Is
Egyptian.
that is it a new bite? Is he gonna go for some new bite rating, something like that? He wants vision on town centers and forward hunt spots and stuff like that. I don't know. Myth units more resistant to it is Anubis after all. Okay, well there we go. Um, Not exactly what I expected, but excellent. Drop slides, build faster. That's okay. Not super important relic so far. Trickle of food, not super important relic so far. It's not bad though. Villager HP, that could definitely be decent. There's locust potential, so that could definitely be nice potentially. Crush damage of close range siege weapons, nice. That could be good for rams, armor improvements, less gold. Yeah, I mean relics, none of them are really pointless, but nothing super game breaking or anything.
And he's definitely going up the Anubites. You're seeing it. He's going up with Anubis. On the other side, we're seeing going to be Age of Udor. Not a big surprise there for the Norse. And getting a few Herser out on the field here during transition.
I wonder if Peggy expects the Anubis play. I wonder how he's gonna. He should have plenty of Herser out to defend against. Again, he doesn't. He wants just anticipating gameplay here. He wants to go a little bit more, not defensively rather, but just not wanting to go aggressively. I think he should be able to handle it fairly well. Bam! Actually, dude, just like that, we got 2 Anubites out on the map. Sheesh. He wants to get things moving right away.
Yep, going to be going for some raiding. That's why he was kind of scouting forward, trying to see where's the food, where's the gold, where can I hit. So he's going to be going for that and then see if we get any action. Again, the Herser right there in the spot. He probably wants to be attacking. See if he dives and goes for that or just runs away. Yeah, not going to risk it for now. I don't think. Gonna run around.
They wanted action. Boom. There we go. We almost got ourselves some action. We also got Axeman following it up. So we have at least one barracks coming out for RecoN. So he's wanting to. I like the aggression, man. He doesn't quite know what what the base of Peggy looks like. I think it's a good one. I think Peggy has a good map, for sure. Seen worse. Definitely seen worse. But it's also open, so I think there's plenty of potential for aggression to pay off here for RecoN.
We got the Anubis, Anubites wrapping around, looking for something to raid, but they really haven't even found anything. Gold mines are empty out there in the open. He's just kind of taking the Herser for a little bit of walk. Oh, stops! Not ideal. But we do have a hill fort dropped by the gold and the food on that far south side.
Oh, I did not expect that, but I think it's maybe a decent idea. It's got that water to help protect it, town center, gold mines, and everything down there. Not too shabby, man. I think that's nice. That's going to be difficult for RecoN to jump in there and try and get some damage back on that backside, but he jumps over the tree line into the tree line, and now we're stuck. Back in old AOM days, those things would be stuck, but I think he's going to be able to jump out. There they go. Nice.
That was a little wild, but they got out and a little bit of healing. So going to end up okay. So we got slingers, we got some axemen, and it's looking like a rather aggressive ISIS play. Don't forget we also have the serpents able to bring in at some point. As he takes down a house on that front line. All the food, by the way, is like towards the middle here. So if he can like kind of contain this, it puts him in a pretty good spot.
Well, I agree. There's options down on the bottom side. Some options, not a ton of options. But taking this map control, this is definitely going to advantage RecoN for sure. He's going to be able to take town centers if he wants to and just hunt for days and days. Yeah, there's a couple of hippos back there for him to eat, so it's not the worst thing in the world, but definitely want more, man. You definitely want more. Whoa. Peggy's macro going a little bit crazy. He has a good eye on that vodka. 12K, not 12K, haha, 1.2K. A gold in the bank. Little Miss Macro, Little Miss Macro.
Just what he
There's
was planning.
per-
He was gonna buy some food.
excellent. Perfect, excellent. Actually, that's not too bad of an idea, man. Drop a market,
Make some
grab yourself some food,
dwarves. I don't know.
jump up, heroic. Not too shabby, not too shabby.
Okay, Axeman coming forward, going to be going after that forward barracks. We got anti-bites, we got priests, we got slingers. Going to be looking to take that down. Meanwhile, behind this, going to be taking another town center. So there'll be 2 TCs on the board for the Egyptians. Just one for the Norse at the moment. He does have that hill fort down the south side to consider. Creeping forward with those obelisks. Can we see his line of sight right now for the Egyptians?
Should be pretty darn good.
Yeah, he can see a whole lot going forward there.
He even sees, I think he sees he has the, what is it called? Asgard. Yep, sees the hill fort down on that bottom side. So,
yeah,
very well placed obelisk right there. Nice.
And it's looking like RecoN's going to be aging up, looking at his macro. You think Pegasus would. He's had all that gold in the bank, but needs a lot of food in order to get that. So I think we'll see probably RecoN age up, add some siege onto this, likely. But for now, yeah, Sobek was queued up. Oh, changed it to Memphis.
He's got that pre-queued. Gonna go honest. I like that, man. I really like. He's got that forward TC. He's got, for the most part, map control. So I think RecoN can have a really nice timing. He doesn't have the full Ancestors Eclipse push, but he's gonna have Ancestors Snakes push, given enough time. I don't know if Peggy's going to be able to jump heroic to get Tempest at a sufficient time. Yeah, there's Nephthys. It just started. I don't know if Peggy's going to have a Tempest, his own heroic age god power to try and stop a push like that. He's going to have to macro his little tushy off if he wants to get there. Only 7,500 food in the bank right. Things are going to get spicy here in about a minute, Fitz.
Yeah, we got the raiding cab wrapping around on the southwest side. Going to be taking out some of that vision. Age up is about halfway done there. The Inuits try to get a hit on the raiding cab, but they're going to be able to run away. And just going to continue just to run around, buy himself some time. For Pegasus, still lopsided, lots of gold, needs to work on that food. He's got 25 villagers on food though, so should be able to correct that. We haven't had the serpents used yet, so maybe he'll use that when he calls in the ancestors or something later on, and we'll see.
Yeah, I can easily see a push. Well, if you're in RecoN's situation, he just hit heroic. Yeehaw! I predict we're probably going to see a siege orcs coming down somewhere near the the middle of the map. Going to be pushing in, although maybe RecoN's going to play it slow like he's been playing other games. So maybe I shouldn't be counting my chickens here. But as he's maybe going to catch these RC right here in an awkward little position. Oh boy. Not bad. Anyways, do you push if you're RecoN? You got a good army here. You need a little siege and a little siege output. Do you push on the Asgardian Bastion Hill Fort, or do you push on the main base?
Good question. I mean, at this point, he doesn't really have any siege to do any pushing. I mean, he's got some spearmen, but I would think maybe the south side might be the better spot. But you also don't want your army in a bad position, so that's kind of tricky with the way the water is placed. Yeah, I'm not so sure what he's going to decide to do. But he needs to certainly take his time. I would say it makes sense. I don't know. He could almost consider just going to the next stage, hit him with some mythic, but we'll see what he goes for. Yeah, water. Yeah, that certainly could be a thing. A dock, some water siege. Yeah, good suggestion there in the chat from Kron.
Oh, I like that.
Not seen any dock yet. That would be pretty badass with a siege ship.
Sure. There's A here, so... Oh, dude! Is he queued up Vidar right away? Oh, wow! That was fast. A here, right into Vidar right after. That means we got Inferno coming up, folks, in about 2 minutes. At least the potential for one in about 2 minutes. I think that RecoN... he was so much further ahead in his heroic timing. um, that it seemed like he had some potential to really push with an early ancestors, early siege, forward positioning, blah 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 blah. Seems like he's wanting to chill out a little bit. What should he be going for town center? Should he be trying to go mythic himself? I don't know. Vidar's probably going to be a big surprise for him, honestly, once we get there.
Okay, so we see Cav being picked off right now. Hippo's going down. And he's going to be grabbing a settlement, so he's just taking his time. I'm not even sure if that, what that nuclear inferno wolf will do. Could wipe out that army. When the economy is like so spread out and he has all these town centers, it's not as effective, versus that like one shot on the main base as the opponent's kind of on the ropes. I mean, Pegasus is kind of in that defensive position right now. I think I like using it more in an offensive way when I've kind of got the enemy running or pushed into a spot I want to hit their units and their buildings. But we'll see. We'll see as that age up's on the way. Right now, RecoN sitting at 185 pop versus the 140 of Pegasus. And both players taking their time, but of course for RecoN, he just needs this one more point to close this series out. He doesn't want to mess this up. He's gonna take a sweet time.
Indeed, there's a rock. I wonder if he's. Here's my thought: maybe going aggressive here, trying to use Vidar and the explosion to take out this Migdal, destroy a bunch of the army, and then just try and take immediate, really fast map control. That's maybe a possibility. Vidar's right around the corner. Was that Osiris possibly? Osiris maybe coming in, but just clicked up. Is that what we showed? Vodka, boom, there it is. Osiris coming in as well. The nuke hath come, or the potential for it, whatever. Where's he gonna use it? Big question. He just sacks the Migdal.
Oh boy, this could be a good spot. Now don't forget, Isis blocks God powers, but you could cast this one, and let it run into the zone, right? It's not, it has to be cast like directly on like a meteor or something.
Yeah. What's the range on that monument? He's even empowering. Oh, this is perfect by RecoN.
That's something to consider. Yeah.
He's Yeah. Oh god, look at that range of that thing. That is insane.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of protection right there. That'll happen eventually, though.
Hopefully. It better. Come on. Find somewhere to use it, Peggy.
Osiris on the way.
Osiris or an explosion on Vidar, man. That's a potential counter to an Osiris, but golly, look at that range, man. That protects Son of Osiris to walk around. Yeah, he's gonna be able to use Son of Osiris around like half of the map, dude. That's just crazy.
Okay, so Egyptians with some commanding map control right now. Here comes the ancestors. Here come those serpents, and this could be the defining moment of this game. Let's see what happens. Pushing forward, the rock giant goes down. Will he pull the trigger on that Fafnir? Oh, Gillenburst is out. Let's go. We got big angry Pumbaa gonna be running around. And Osiris soon, there you go, is there. Where's that Pharaoh? Should be somewhere close. But he's getting healing because of those monuments. That's what's going on. And there it is. Here comes the nuclear inferno wolf. Will it do anything? I think he just nuked
himself, bro. We just nuked himself. What are you talking about?
Oh
just
my
nuked himself.
Gosh. What on earth? That is certainly a way to use it. So
it looks cool.
That might have been a little bit of a mistake from the what can you do? That monument just protects everything. You can't get close. Son of Osiris is like, nah, I'm not getting my hands dirty. I'm just gonna keep empowering.
Yeah, he doesn't need to, dude. Honestly, I guess the idea may be Pegasus doesn't necessarily know that Son of Osiris is empowering the monument, so my thought is that he could have waited until Son of Osiris makes an appearance, which means that he would not anymore be empowering the monument. But again, Peggy didn't necessarily know that he was empowering that monument. There's a dock for some dock craftsmen over on that right-hand side. Could be really nice. And fun fact, everybody, Leviathan is actually a check out that Leviathan vodka. It's actually a transport ship transporting a couple of those camels over. Ta-da! Gonna hit that gold mine if he eventually finds it. Wow, I can't believe that. The nuke was cool, man, but wow, that's not what we
Yeah, he
necessarily
directly hit his
wanted.
own army. That was interesting.
And actually fits. It's 2-1, man. If RecoN takes this, he moves on against Grassengroom. So I think it maybe is a little bit too late for Peggy. He's not thinking straight.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to tap out here. As soon as I say that, he will, like goes. But he was going to fight. This is it for him. He's trying to do it. Hanging on for dear life. It's going to be very challenging. Isis is powered up, ready to go. There's the son of Osiris. It's going to be a struggle.
Oh, big time. So like now would be the time to use Vidar to at least do a little bit more damage. There's a Tempest. I guess that's something, man. But still, if only it was a nuke instead of a Tempest.
Yeah. It is what it is.
There we go, those camels hitting farmers for crying out loud. That's how comfortable RecoN's feeling right now. Yeah, just throw the camels into the main base, no problem. He just wants idle eco. That's all he cares about. He's got catapults hitting that. Yep, catapults hitting TC, and boom, RecoN takes it 3-1. Man, this is better for Peggy than the last time they matched up 3-0. But RecoN still smokes him 3-1. Well done by RecoN.
Yeah, absolutely. RecoN just methodical there. The Isis take coming out with the early swing, going those anti-bite raids, kind of harassing as he could, and then just taking that map control, taking control of middle, and just like aging up, and just kind of creeping with his monuments, causing so many problems there into the game, but just doing a great job.
Monuments for the win, man.
A masterful strat by RecoN. Make the games long, make the evening long, and that way all of your potential competitors tomorrow have already gone to sleep. So we have another series done, one more to go, but we got to dissect this one a little bit. Crazy series between them. That opening game set an awkward tone, but credit to him, things did speed up as we went deeper into this maiden. Like, especially that last game. I'm quick to blame RecoN if it ends up a late game. I don't think I blame him on that one fully, right? I think Freya can usually be quite difficult to turf out when they have a nice defensive position.
Yeah, for sure. And, it was actually RecoN who was kind of pushing the envelope early on. He had the Anubites out. He had the barracks units out. He was going aggressive. He stayed 1 TC. He didn't quite want to overcommit, push too far in, so he kind of got the middle of the map, that central middle of the map, and held on to it throughout the entire game. And I think, ultimately, that's really what it came down to. Peggy didn't quite have that second TC early to get an eco advantage. So it was mainly just 1 TC for 1 TC, and eventually we saw the rest.